Hi, day one theme for my Storytime in a Box is zoo animals for age groups 4 to 7. The zoo is a great way for children to learn about animals and their differences. Animals can reinforce letter sounds, shapes, colors, sizes, which are all important concepts for young readers. The repetition is really important in helping children learn sound patterns. So the first book I have chosen is by Eric Carle and Bill Martin, Baby Bear, What Do You See? And the activity we're going to do for this one is the paper bag zebra, which is really fun because we use the hair curlers to paint on the black paint. The next book I've chosen is Last Night at the Zoo, and this is so fun because children get to imagine what animals would do if they kind of pretended to be humans and went out on the town at night. The activity, this one is by Michael Garland. The activity we're going to do with this one is to take care of our zoo animals. So the children will use a puppet and they'll get to wash the puppet with a sponge. They give the puppet water droplets. They give the puppet food. And they have to do a health check on the puppet. If their puppet is healthy, then they get a heart for their puppet. As they're doing all these, they use this zoo checkup list to check off that they're taking good care of their animal. The next book we have for the zoo theme is Dr. Seuss classic, If I Ran the Zoo. And this activity is so much fun because it helps students really tap into their creativity. So the activity we're going to do with this is we're going to just use a regular plastic animal, but we get to design it into a Zeus type animal using Play-Doh and different art supplies that I have. This is really fun for students. On day 2, my theme is color and art. It's for age groups 3 to 5. The first book we're going to do is The Very Hungry Caterpillar, and I did choose a bilingual book so I can read this with my Spanish friends as well. The activity we're going to do with this is using hole punches. It helps the students really develop their fine motor skills and strength in their hand. So I've created the hole punch into a caterpillar with this face, and they can punch however many holes they want to into the different fruits. To extend this activity, you can write numbers on the fruits to see if the students can punch the correct number into the fruit. The next book I have is Mouse Paint by Ellen Walsh, and with this activity the students really love to see the fun mouse characters and how they explore with paints. So the activity we're going to do is, I didn't have a mouse figure, but we're using a horse figure, and the students can dip the horse into the paints and make different patterns and designs, and then we actually use our finger to mix paints, so we could decide how to make different colors using the different paints. And the last book I have for this is Spicy Hot Colors, Colores Picantes by Sherry Shahan. And this book really talks about the foods and things we eat and talking about the colors of those foods. So the activity we have for this is I have all these colored tubs and these vegetable and fruit cards, and the students are just going to sort them in the correct colors. So an apple would go in the red box and so on. For day number 3, my theme is friendship, and this is geared a little older kids, ages maybe 6 to 9 or 10. And the first book we have is introducing them to the Clifford series by Norman Bridwell, that we're going to read Clifford's Best Friend. And the activity we're going to do with that is we're going to write a letter to a friend. They can choose different stationery, and some students I will use templates to help them have like sentence starters. The next book I have with this with this theme is the classic Corduroy. And we see how Lisa, a human, is actually best friends with her stuffed animal that kind of becomes human in the story. And the activity we're going to do with this is, again, fine motor skills for young children. We're going to use the threading, where students actually thread through the beads. And the last book in this theme is Buster's New Friend. Now this is a simple chapter book, so this would invite the parents to participate with their child, and they read about how Buster makes a new friend. The activity we have with this one is actually a floor puzzle. Studies show that having children work together to complete a task really helps build their friendship and their relationship together. Day 4 is one of my favorite themes. This is the snow and winter theme. And this theme is so much fun, especially because I live in Texas, so most of my students don't really get to see snow very often, so it's really fun to imagine what it would be like if our city was covered in snow. So the first book I have is by Ezra Jack Keats. It's The Snowy Day, and with this one, we get to design using the straw bees. Students will design a snowflake. That's so much fun. The kids love doing that. The next book I have is by Yuri Shulevitz, and it is called Snow. And with this activity, we're gonna do the classic activity to make their own snowflakes. So we fold the paper really small, and then they cut designs in the edges, and we open it up and have a snowflake. And the last book I have for this is a very simple beginning reader book. Here Comes the Snow, and this focuses on what happens first and what happens next. So I pulled this activity that we have called Before and After, and students have to match the cards that make sense together, what happens before and what happens after. So that really helps them with learning how to sequence things. And my final day 5 theme is dragons. And this one is especially picked for all Spanish or bilingual books. And the first book I have for this one is Dragones y Tacos by Adam Rubin. And this one is really funny and helps kids imagine what dragons would eat. The activity we do with this one is we're gonna make a paper taco. And each layer of the taco, the students will write down the beginning, middle, and end, or different story elements of the story. The next book I have with this theme is If I Had a Dragon, Si Yo Tuviera un Dragón. And this one is by Tom and Amanda Ellery. And the students get to imagine what it would be like to have their own dragon, and they will actually create a dragon with a sock. They get to design it with fabric markers, add eyes and wings, and they get to actually fly their dragon and pretend. The last book I have for this one is Cómo Encender un Dragón Apagado, and this one's by Didier Levy. And this one is trying to help a dragon whose fire breathing has gone out and how to reignite his fire. So this activity we have with this book is this fire dragon using a toilet paper tube, and you can make the fire actually breathe. And that's it.